How was that? How was that?
So we're good. It's just everyone is very laggy.
Well, yeah, we're gonna be laggy compared to most slow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the streams like it's. I mean, that's what happens.
Someone pull this shit up
like
on their phone to see if we're at least coming off correctly. Hold on, no one speak for a second.
You can't tell me what to do. Yeah, I'm watching it.
All right, we're good. All right, so Kyle, you start the stream up.
We're playing I'm watching it. I mean,
What's good? We got everybody. Today we're going over the house. We got Knicks loss going over the Knicks loss to the OKC. And all right, kind of dive into it, guys. Towards the end of the stretch of the game, we got close to the 5-minute mark. In the stretch of the York in the house. We look like we got Connecticut in the house, and we got Jersey in the house. Today,
It's a defensive team. I mean, when we can't defend, we're kind of shit. So, I think we showed it with their young athleticism. They were getting to the hoop really easily.
The Knicks lost to the OKC.
So we're not an offensive team.
And all right, we'll go back towards the end of the fourth quarter, and I'd say about maybe close to the 5-minute mark. The Knicks kind of hard. Let's
Because
see
we
your
were
brand.
playing our style. Once it started to get out, and they just the defensive.
In the first half, then they scored 60 points in the second. So that's way too many based on that pace, that style. And so we couldn't allow that to all start defensively with this team and Tim's team.
Ian, what are your thoughts on us not playing Mitchell Robinson? Towards the end, we playing Mitchell Robinson. No one was protecting the rim at all. No one was protecting the rim at all.
I don't really know what that was all about. It makes you think. Was that some sort of disciplinary act? Did he say something? Did he do something that caused Tibbs to not play him in the fourth? I don't know. Otherwise, I don't know why he's not out there. I don't believe he was in foul trouble. He's been really good with that lately. So maybe it was just us trying to play small ball too, but I don't really get it, and I don't know why that happened. But the bottom line is we're not going to win games scoring 89 points, and that's a fact. So.
I mean, let's even go over the closing lineup. I believe we saw RJ out there tonight. We saw Julius. We saw Austin, Reggie Bullock, and I believe we saw Quickly. How are we feeling about the lineup? It was a pretty small lineup. How are we feeling about it? Essentially, it was a pretty small lineup. I think RJ is playing the 4, which I think in a 4 out. I think, but RJ needs to pick up that shooting if he wants to be. I think him being benched again considered. On Wednesday, honestly a good call. Honestly, he wasn't hitting his shots at all. He wasn't hitting his shots. How feeling about that? How feeling about that?
I mean, I'll take this one first. I think I don't know if it's just me, but what's going on in a lot of Knicks fans' heads after tonight is what are we going to see out of IQ going forward? Because these past 2 games, he's been underperforming with good defensive matchups against him. I mean, last game he had Mike Conley, one of the smartest and best, point guards in the league from an IQ perspective, no pun intended. And then tonight he is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's also he's a young guy, but he's a great defensive player, and he's one of the young stars in the league. So I don't know if that had to do with it, where it was a tough matchup. I don't know if it was just an off night for him, and we've seen the confidence in him, so I'm not worried about that. But I think a lot of Knicks fans are definitely worried after these last 2 games from Emmanuel Quickly, because if he even scores 10 points tonight, it's a whole different ball game. So that's just my opinion. We got to focus on him right now. So what are your guys' opinions? Let's start with Nick.
I know. Like, I agree with you to an extent. He's a rookie,
And I understand that he's going to take his.
and I understand that he's. I didn't expect him to be as quickly as he's been, as good, as quickly. So I will say that tonight, overall, we said we can't score that many points.
We had too many open looks, and also not to be this guy.
We had too many open looks, and also not to be this guy, but the ref that should have been shooting fouls. Just were not. Yeah.
I think Nick, you're right. I think that plays a lot. Right. I think that plays a lot into it because quickly. Being a rookie, he's really good at drawing. So I think that's something professionals don't get. I think that's something we noticed tonight. We really don't get. To pin this all on quickly tonight. To pin this all on quickly tonight. The whole offense kind of looked out of disarray. We kind of reverted back to the last 3 games that we saw. We saw a lot more cutters. I mean, that's like a lot more cutters, and I mean that's something when the zone kept coming up. We didn't see enough people. And we didn't have any cutters inside.
Yeah, I mean that's where the easiest come. And a couple of other things that I've noticed the way Tibbs operates, at least in the early going. I don't know if it's because Quickly's still young, but he tends to be going off. He does a lot. He does have a lot of
versatility.
lineups that versatility. People can play multiple positions in terms of the versatility, where multiple people can play multiple positions. RJ at the 4, as you guys were saying, with RJ anywhere from 2 through 4, maybe really sticking with a 2 guard. He's really sticking with a 2 lineup where he only plays minutes because and that's really limiting. Playing such great defense. Minutes because Elfrid Payton's playing such great defense. He's running the offense decently, nothing like his good drive at the end of the day. And he's making his good drives. He's making shots that are tough shots. If he's doing that, and Tibbs is a guy who likes having guys stay in so they can stay in rhythm. And so if he gets 35 minutes, that means 13 left quickly to get getting. So it all makes sense there. I think Quickly can play the 2, I believe, with Matt running the 1 at Kentucky. So you got to be able to see
And I think Elfrid Payton is another person that's kind of polarized.
1 at Kentucky. So you got to.
I honestly didn't think he had too bad of a night tonight. I think his defense could use a lot of work. I feel like if Elfrid Payton sees his screen, he kind of gives up on the play. I rarely see him try to try to pick that man up. I rarely see him try to fight through a screen and try to Elfrid Payton pick that man up. He kind of already gives up on the play. I see him try to fight through a screen.
Where are we gonna get the shooting?
I mean, he hit it. Nobody. I think that's something that we all wish. I believe RJ had 1 3, and not too many other people had.
In terms of Elfrid, I feel like that's kind of what we're gonna get out of him. Like, he had a couple good games earlier in the season, even though it's only still the beginning of the season. But he had a couple good games, and we kind of almost knew it wasn't gonna last. So I feel like a game like tonight is kind of what we're gonna get out of him, kind of like what we saw last year, where he'll score in the teens and whatnot. But he'll shoot poorly from 3. He'll hit one once in a while. He'll play mediocre defense, and he'll see a lot of minutes. And that's kind of why fans weren't supportive of him coming back, regardless of if it was a cheap deal or not. But yeah, I didn't think he played horrible tonight. I think he came out strong. He came out with those contact layups. He did hit a 3, but that Man, that line drive jump shot reminds me so much of Landry Fields, and I don't know if he's ever gonna be able to fix that. But yeah, man, I feel like when the team scores 89 points, that kind of shows what type of game it was. No one really stepped up. I like the game RJ had, but that was about it. And he missed shots. Y'all know my least favorite player on the team is Reggie Bullock. So hopefully when Alec Burks comes back, he's gonna take a huge chunk of his minutes.
Yeah, we miss Burks.
Also, the
Burks. We miss Burks.
Also, the down night
What did you guys think of
for Randall. So
that's actually about what did you guys think of Randall tonight? I think he was started half of the game. I think he was 0 for 5. First half, he did have 5 assists. He did have 5 assists in that first half.
yeah, I mean Randall. I think the offense always runs through him. So when Randall is really good, times but a lot of those 5 assists, but also had 12 points, and he had 0 points. And I think when it comes down to it, that 12 points, and I think it's a big difference. He needs to be doing a better job. Even when it comes down to it, I really like doing a better job. I think but I really like when we run the offense. A lot of teams laps on him. A lot of OKC, and we saw OKC do that when he drives that yesterday game. So, and when he does that, he can use his body. When he does that, he uses his body, clear out and get those high shots against the free throw line. Those high percentage shots against the free throw line.
And I do think when the defense collapses, he does have that quick out. Always have one. He does have that quick out on the corners. That's when they always have one of like Kevin Knox or Reggie Bullock always sitting in one. Like I think it just comes back to Randall driving. We don't have. And I think it just comes back to it. Like we don't have good enough three-point shooters yet. I think okay shooter, he's never really shot great anything. Kevin Knox is anything really statistically shooter at best. I think if we could like if we get a consistent shooter, or maybe we trade for one. I think that's in the summer, or maybe we trade for one.
Yeah,
I think that's something that really improve our team.
I feel like the biggest thing, and we could kind of start a new topic here with the direction of the team this season. We didn't expect this team to do much coming out of the gates, and we've kind of been pleasantly surprised by the team, except for tonight, obviously, and the Philadelphia game. But we didn't expect much. We just wanted to see, player development. We wanted to see Tibbs install his, physicality and defense. And we were pleasantly surprised, as in we've been playing well thus far. So getting into the point of the direction of this season, what do y'all think we do at the trade deadline? Do we keep these vets that we signed, like Alec Burks, Julius Randle, I guess even Austin Rivers? He probably doesn't want to leave at all. And then do we go after 3-and-D type guy so that we can compete? I don't know. What do y'all think? Let's start with Kyle.
I mean, we're barely 10 games into the season. I really
don't know what we should do towards
the deadline.
I mean, the deadline this year is actually a little earlier. I think I want to say March, though. That's going to be a lot different, and especially in a shortened season, we're not going to turn out. I believe everything's going to turn out. By the time the trade deadline comes, we'll have played 4.95. Over 500. I would like chase a point guard, a legitimate point guard. Maybe make a late playoff game, whether it be a try to sneak into the 8th seed. I mean, I think we're below 8th seed, but if we're below trying to look at the something I posed on Twitter was, do we keep Julius Randle? Would you guys trade Julius Randle now? The way he's playing right now?
I definitely would.
I saw a stat that He's recorded 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 straight games.
I saw a stat that he's recorded 10 points. That's the second longest streak in Knicks history. I think we've had a hard time finding like a star. I'm not saying he's like mellow level type. The way he's broken out, I
think he wants
to really have an impact on our team. And I think he in the future wants to be here. And I think he wants team. This is like his team and the big deal. They given him. He has a lot of freedom to do shots, and he has a lot of freedom to do stuff. So,
I agree with Nick.
I think he's a big part of it.
I think that another thing plays with he plays with a toughness, and when he's giving his 100%, it's like 100%. Players where it's like I've had so many players, Carlos in the past or Todd in the past, that did such a great job. That did such a great job facilitating. I don't know what worked. Austin Rivers last year. Because Morris really wanted to play for the Knicks last year. Morris really wanted to play for the Knicks, bring the Knicks back, bring the and moving in the way Rivers now, if he keeps this up at first rounder, and the way Rivers is playing now, if he keeps this up at even a close pace, we can get a first rounder deal. And I think it was a 1 year deal. It was a 1 year deal, right? Yeah, it was a 1 year deal, right? So Yeah, and so we were getting an asset.
Wait. Are you talking about Rivers?
I think we sure a lot of these guys.
Didn't they change it to a 3-year, $15 million?
That's right.
To a 3-year, $15 million.
I don't think we're paying him that.
That's right.
Isn't it $5 million?
I don't think we're paying him that. I don't think we're paying him that much.
That sounds right. Regardless, that makes it even more valuable. He's still very. So if you don't see him as much of an asset, you got 2 years left. You got 2 years left on his deal. For a very reasonable deal for a guy who man of the year. You can take that all day long. Of the year candidate, a first rounder for me. I think you can take that all day long. The future, first rounder for that. And at the end of the day, we're getting a core. We're all about getting a core. It's all about getting a core. So you have a lot of teams around them. So you have good role players around that. We're seeing a lot of teams do that. When you got the Heat acquired it, but you got the Denver Nuggets really built. They drafted well. They late. Built a team. The Knicks formula to success. Don't rely on.
I mean, personally, I feel like a good comparison to Marcus Morris is Alec Burks, because before he got hurt, he was averaging 20 points per game. He's on that 1 year deal. Very, very flexible, valuable contract. Valuable meaning, to other teams. And his production has been sky high right now. So I got to see more of him, though, because he's been hurt. But if he continues his production and he averages 16 to 20 points per game, that's the question. Do we keep him? Just like we went through with Marcus. But another thing we got to remember is the reason why I said, we came into this season with low expectations is because even if we have these veterans that are really, playing well and scoring high numbers, having high efficiency numbers, whatever, we still want to see the player development. And I think so far we've seen the player development. And yeah, I just want to put that out there that regardless of what we do this season, whether it's the playing games, whether it's missing the playoffs, whether it's getting the 8 seed, whether it's getting the goddamn 5 seed, we have seen that player. We have. Who knew IQ was going to be this solid for a late first rounder, a guy that was projected to be a second round pick? Even Kevin Knox, who's looked iffy at times, has looked better than last year. And Calipari always said it's going to take year 3 to see what you truly have with him. Unfortunately, there are guys left in the way there with Dennis Smith Jr. He's going to be in China this time next year. And Frank, we did see minutes with him. It doesn't look like he's improved much. If anything, he's gone down. But I am seeing that player development, especially with Julius Randle. Despite him being one of our vets, he's been taking his game to a whole new level at only 26 years old. So that's why I agree with you guys before, where we should definitely keep him. But we should still try the market and see what we can get for him. Obviously.
I think he's right. I don't think none of us expected this, and I think we have to be real with ourselves.
We have to be
Currently
really going for
a top 3 defense with points allowed, and
We have a top 3 points allowed.
As good as we are right now, I think
And
implemented a great defensive scheme, but we just don't have those elite defensive players to carry it out like this. We might not have a top
5 defense, but
we could have a top half of the league defense. I'd say we could easily be top 10 defense in the league this year, at the end of the year. I think that's a substantial improvement over what we've had with Fizdale.
Yeah, it's all about playing hard, learning to not lose easily, which I think Tibbs is doing a great job doing. But it's all like we just got to player development, build for the future, so that we could get a better seed. I guess so we could build for a more competitive team, opposed to just barely making the playoffs.
Yeah, and I want to also make the point that, tonight we lost or whatever, but before tonight, and I still think going forward, if we put a product out there on the floor that does keep beating these playoff teams, that does win on a consistent basis, and that is just really tough, and competitive every night, then we will see results. I mean, this Knicks team has surprised us more than any team we've seen in the past 7-8 years. So, if anything, I think we have potential to be very similar and to be compared to that 7th seed Nets team that didn't have a star necessarily, but was competitive and became attractive and therefore got KD and Kyrie. Now, I understand we want that player development. We want guys to raise up through the system, and we don't want to overpay guys. But I believe that the way we're playing right now, we are looking like that Nets team, and we will attract free agents. We will attract free agents.
All right, I mean, I think. Well, give me a couple takeaways from this game. Let's get 2 takeaways from everybody. But we can keep moving forward with this game. How about we start with you, Brandon?
I think there were definitely.
all right, I mean, I think give me 2 takeaways from everybody.
Playing hard, playing good defensively, even when there were definitely good takeaways of just playing hard, playing good defensively, even when we weren't making our
And
down until we got a late lead, and play like that for all 4. And when he did go for 5 and try to find his own game, he had 5 assists. He still let the offense flow and wasn't from being
I feel like 2 takeaways from the game.
So I think that was very good.
Number 1,
How about you?
like I mentioned before, is this the start of a rookie slump for IQ? I know I'm going to be that typical cliche Knicks fan that overreacts, but we just haven't seen it these past 2 games out of him. So hopefully he could bounce back on Sunday. And then another takeaway is, why wasn't Mitchell Robinson playing in the 4th quarter? Was it a disciplinary issue? Was it bad coaching? Who knows? I think he could have added some versatility and some value in the 4th quarter. Those lobs itself create a spark. His defense creates a spark. That could have given us some momentum. So those are my 2 takeaways.
Yeah, real quick, I just saw a tweet, and apparently the reason why Mitch wasn't playing so well is Tibbs was trying to generate more offense, and also Mitch wasn't feeling well. Apparently.
Damn, he got the Rona.
He got something.
Does he have the Rona? We shall find out.
Dude, I can't live without Knicks basketball.
How about you, Nick? What are your two takeaways?
My first one is not getting into foul trouble. Like, if Julius wasn't in foul trouble, I think maybe this game might have gone a little differently because he missed a big portion of the second part of that game because I think he had like 4 earlier, 3. I forget how many he had, but he even said after the game he needs to take more responsibility and not do that to his teammates, which he's right. If he's going to be our star, we need him on the floor because, like you said, our offense, when it runs through him, it's our best. So he's needed to stay out there, and then I guess my biggest takeaway now is Mitch have Rona? That's a big question.
I think my last two are going to be, right now we're actually last in 3 points attempted. I would like to see that go up. I would not just to be chucking up threes, but to take good threes, whether it be corner threes or threes on the break. I'd just like to see a higher frequency than that because I think one of our biggest skills is offensive rebounding, and with having Mitch in there, I mean, losing him, I think we lose a lot on the rebounding side. So keeping Mitch in there is definitely going to be important. I think my second takeaway is with RJ. For me, I feel like when I watch him, I feel like when he doesn't have anything going, I don't want to call it tunnel vision, but like he looks very rushed trying to get his shot off. He looks like he has to go out and get it. If he doesn't, like, I don't want to say he looks down, but like he looks frustrated with himself, and I don't think that's helping. So I kind of just want RJ to slow it down. Like the game will come to him. Like he has that work ethic. Like he has drive. He has everything. It just has to take his time.
Like he has hopefully
the three start falling.
the drive. He has everything. It just has to take his time, and hopefully the 3 start falling. The 3 start falling.
Now I guess we're on the next game. So thank you for everyone who listened. We will watch this later.
And now I guess we're on to next.
Yeah, we're on to Denver. See how we get to play there. We're on to Denver. Michael Porter will still be out with COVID to see what Mitch is doing. And this has been us, January 8th.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch this, feel free to leave a comment. Please give us a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Check us out on Twitter. Subscribe button. Tri-State Tribe. This is our first stream. I know there were some technical issues. Check us out on Twitter. We're working to try to fix that, but be patient. It was our first stream. So let us know what you think. And we'll catch you on Sunday after Denver. Peace, guys.
See y'all.